You want to get Iridescent ASAP, but you don't really know how to min-max it? You don't get why you get so many blood points at the end of the game, yet you don't even pip? You want that juicy 1 million blood points or that Steam achievement? Well,
I got you, fam!
First of all, I would like to point out that there's no correlation between the amount of blood points you get at the end of the game and the amount of pips you receive. You can get a lot of blood points but no pip, and you can also get a pip with only 15k blood points. It's the quality of your emblems that will be the deciding factor for the amount of pips you get. There are 4 of them and they all weigh the same. So, how do we get there as fast as possible? The quickest way is obviously to get 2 pips per game, but how do we do that? I'll show you how to play optimally for those 2 pips, and trust me, it is so much easier when you know exactly what to do. So here's a table from DVD's wiki that shows you how many points each emblem gives. You know that the maximum amount of points is 16, since you can get 4 Iridescent emblems and they are worth 4 points, so 4 times 4, quick maths, 16. However, different ranks have different pipping conditions. From Ash to Gold, you will need 14 points for a double pip out of 16. That means you will need 2 Iridescent emblems and 2 Gold emblems to get double pips. In Iridescent, however, the double pip condition is set higher at 15. This means you must get 3 Iridescent emblems and 1 Gold emblem. You cannot have anything below. Let's start with Lightbringer, aka the objectives. For this category, you need a total of 270 points to get the Area emblem. And how do the points get counted? Well, you get 1 point per person of generator that you've repaired. So you want to do 2 gens or even 2 gens and a half worth of progress. And even if the progress is lost, you still get the points. 2 gens would be the equivalent of 200 points. Then you want to open an exigate and cleanse 1 totem. That's the ideal way to do it. You also get more points if it's a hex totem. And finally, if it reassures you, you also get passive points, for example for each gen or totem that was done while you were being chased, but since you have no control over that, we're not really going to talk about this. Next, there's the Unbroken Emblem, and this is a cursed one. To get Iridescent, you cannot go down a single time in the game. This is a pretty unrealistic standard for most games, so I recommend that you make this one your Gold Emblem instead. But to get the Gold Emblem, you need to escape the trial. It is crucial, otherwise you cannot get your double pips. You must escape the trial. If you don't make it out, you will get silver or below depending on how much time you were alive for. Well, luckily for you, the Benevolent Emblem barely requires any skill. You get points for safe on hooks, protection hits, healing, and teammate saves. I would, however, not recommend you try too hard to save your teammates, as this will quickly lead to your death, and it will be a waste of precious time that you could be spending on those gens. Also, note that you lose points if you do an unsafe unhook. Alright, it is super taxing, so make sure you are ready to take a hit for your teammate, or that the killer is not near. Or, thirdly, you can also just use perks that fight against it. Anyways, what you need to do to get the Iridescent Emblem in this category is get 2 safe on hooks and ideally 1 or 2 heals. You don't need to think about this one too much, by the way, just try to help your teammates around the map, but make sure you get the unhooks. Safe ones, okay? Finally, our last Iridescent Emblem will be Evader, and this is based on your ability to hide from the killer as well as escaping chases. There's not really a specific way to do it like with the other emblems, but just try to do those 3 things. First of all, try to get pallet stuns. Obviously don't risk your life to get a stun, but if you get them it's always extra points, so try to keep that in mind. Secondly, stay undetected in the cluster radius for as long as possible, as every second gives you extra points. The closer you are to the killer, the more points you get. And finally, escape chases. But what does it mean to escape a chase? It's not just about not going on the hook or going down. Escaping a chase is when you don't get hit at all. What happens if you do get hit? Well, the points that you earn during that chase get halved. So let's say you had 1000, you end up with 500 instead. But if you do escape the chase without getting hit, instead of having 1000 points, you will get double. So you will have 2000 points. This is my build, but I will give you another build I think works even better if you really want to grind those double pips. To get the most out of the Lightbringer Emblem, I'd recommend you take Déjà Vu, as it shows you the auras of the 3 gens closest to each other. Not only do you not waste any time finding gens, it also prevents you from getting 3 gens at the end of the game. For the Unbroken Emblem, I recommend Off the Record, as it is one of the best entertaining perks in the game. The other perk is Deliverance. If you cannot rely on your teammates, you can unhook yourself the first time. For the Benevolent Emblem, I recommend you use Will Make It, as it will guarantee a safe unhook in most cases. Finally, for the Evader Emblem, aka the Chase Emblem, exhaustion perks are a must-have. You can also use Mage for this instead. I'll end this video with a final tip. Do not gen rush. If you gen rush, the game will be too short and you won't get enough points for the double pips. Alright, let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and good luck getting your Iridescent grades. Take care!